Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back for another video. We are doing a takeover again today. Anyone that's watched before, you will know I've been on this count a few times. So we've done things like gear cleansing, champion rebuilds, dungeon grinding, you know, getting the team sorted, working up to things like Amius, all sorts of stuff. But today, I think what I'm going to do is kind of like wrap up this takeover and just sort of send it off and kind of with a bit of advice, see what we can actually get it to do. Guys, before we move ahead, there will be a promo link. It's going to be in the pinned comment as well as the description of this video. If you want to maybe try the free-to-play life, maybe just recommend Raid to a friend. This is going to get you off to a wicked head start with champs such as Elenaril, Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you level up your account. And if you want it, just follow these instructions. You'll want to log out of Plarium Play and uninstall the game. Click the link, register with a brand new email address, launch Raid, complete the tutorial, go to your inbox and claim your first free champion. Like I said, this is a good one. You don't want to miss it. Just click the link below. So here we are. We've done loads of champion rebuilding over the last few weeks. Anything with a little love heart on it, I've kind of put all of the best gear on just because I know this guy really likes to do live arena. So I've tried to just tune the account to help him there as much as possible. Loads of good champs, massively stacked account, arguably overstacked account. But the main thing that I want to get covered today is he not long ago pulled Marius. Marius is just an absolute beast. So I'm going to build him up and then we'll go through sort of why I chose to do it that way. So I'm just going to do that now. Right, here he is, a big donkey build. He is absolutely awesome. Everyone is going to get Marius eventually. If you play this game enough, it will just happen. As far as sort of farmable legendary champions go, considering he's one of the best, he's actually not the hardest to get. I would argue that Romantu was, maybe not so much now that they've changed Tag Team Arena a little bit, but Romantu was so much harder to get than this guy because it just meant that you had to get into Gold Tag Team Arena, which was brutal. Now, not so much. Also, the final task you have to do to get him is 30 million damage in Hydra, but it's not actually on Nightmare, it's on Brutal. So he's incredibly accessible. It takes a long time. You can pretty much pay your way to make it happen faster. But ultimately, it's just months and months and months of grinding, and then you are rewarded with this guy, and he is worth every one of those months that you did. So, quick run through of his skills. I want to say Marius is perfect, but unfortunately no champion in this game is perfect. But he's pretty damn close if you're looking for just a solid control-based AoE nuker. Only thing you've got to watch out for, because, you know, every action, reaction, swings and roundabouts, all of that good stuff, he is a bit of a polymorph magnet if you're using him in live arena with accuracy. Now, his A1 skill, attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance when booked of placing Enfeeble on the enemy. Now, all Enfeeble does is if you've got it on you, it just makes it so that you can't land a strong hit on the enemy. You can't, it's basically like weak hitting. It's useless, it's really annoying, and it stops you placing things like debuffs. It's a pain in the ass, but it's even more of a pain in the ass when you put it out and you get polymorphed because of it. So you've always kind of got to bear that in mind with Marius. I choose to build him without accuracy and just go full nuke, and that's just kind of my preferred way. There are many ways. Maybe you could actually build a dedicated PvP build and chuck some pinpoint on him, or just any other way of protecting yourself from the polymorph. But very solid AoE A1. It's an AoE again on the A2. This is kind of like an enemy max HP hit. It's 3 times, but can also reduce the duration of enemy buffs while he's doing it. Again, you would need accuracy to do that, but his accuracy is kind of self-provided by his A3. He puts increased accuracy and increased defense on everyone on the team, and it's for 3 turns, which is really nice. But also to beware, he places a stun on the enemy with the highest turn meter. So again, you could easily get turned into a sheep, and you want to be a donkey, not a sheep. That is like the Marius rule 101. And then you've got his passive, and this is kind of one of my favorite things about him. He's immune to turn meter reduction. Very good. Very good against Armands. And whenever someone actually tries to reduce his turn meter, he snaps back with his A1, which can just be so clutch many a time. And also, if you're up against Mythicals and they change form, he smacks. So he's got a lot of control built into his kit, but trying to actually rack up the high numbers that you've probably seen online is not quite so easy with him, especially if you don't have a blessing on him. But you know what? Just like grinding for Marius, unfortunately you have to grind for his blessing too. You'll get there eventually, and it is totally worth it. Now, I haven't put a relic on him today, not my account. I'll let the guy do it, it's up to him. I might just send him a message of a few ones that maybe I would try. But here we go with the kit. Now, it's kind of come out at incredibly low resistance, and I really like to put as much resistance as I can into builds because I hate getting CC'd. Just when you're gearing up for your big hit, you get CC'd and it's like, nobody likes that. But here's what we've done with the kit. We've gone 6-piece Slayer because I couldn't get 9. I could get 8-piece, but not quite 9-piece. And I've gone for Zeal because that's just the way the optimizer spat it out. But if he's at full HP, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. So quick overview of the kit. I've basically just tried to get as much speed and crit rate into the kit as possible. And wherever I can, we've got things like defense again there. That's all he needs. Crit damage, defense. Anything that's attack is a bit of a shame, but it's just how the gear comes out. More defense, more speed, many speed. We will change the ascension on these. I would actually argue the best ascension would be speed. Onto the accessories. There's still room for improvement with things like glyphs. But again, defense with defense, crit damage with crit damage, and a bit more defense. The banner is a bit of a shame, but again, this can all change. Nothing is permanent. We can change this as we go. And finally, these are his stats. He came out at 45k HP, a little bit low, 4.7k defense, good, over crit cap, 300% crit damage pretty much. He is going to do serious work. So, that's the last champion I'm going to build on this account for now. I'm going to revisit this maybe in a few weeks. But the main purpose of what I want to do with this account now is give it back to the guy and say, look, this is what I would do if it was my account. So the main thing that I kind of have to mention with an account like this, and we see this all over the place, it's not unique to this account, it's just the mentality in Raid. When it comes to what to do next in this game, sometimes you've got to kind of look at your roster and think, you know what, I've got enough champions here to go all the way in Raid. There is no content this account couldn't do potentially. The last thing it needs is more champions. Now, obviously, Void Legendaries, very cool. Mythicals, incredibly cool. But like with everything, like I said, action, reaction, there is always going to be a catch. And the problem when you have a roster this stacked, you just find that you have to spread your gear so thin on everyone that when you take them into content, they just don't perform how you want them to perform. And that's really disappointing because, you think more champs, I've got this one, I've got the best one for this. It just doesn't work like that. Like, gear is so much more important than champions in this game. You could put the best gear in the world on an epic and they're going to absolutely thump anything you throw at them. You could put the worst gear on a mythical and the mythical is just useless. So if it was my account, honestly, what would I do? I'd work it out by faction, because look, the only real 3 end game things that we need to be really worrying about at the moment are, Chimera and Hydra, and I'm kind of including that in one. Let's just call it clan boss stuff. You've got live arena and you've also got hard faction wars. Hard faction wars is absolutely evil. I haven't done great on it. This account's sitting at 362 stars. I'm barely just over 400. It's hard. It's really hard. It's a massive test for your roster. But I think everyone gets sucked into thinking, oh, I don't have that champion, so I must. Faction Wars is going to be so much easier if I just get this champion. And then when I get this champion, that's not what this account needs. I would argue the only real way I can think of saying is this account needs to go on a diet. If it was me, I would literally open up this and I would go to faction. And I would pick any faction. I'm just going to pick Knights Rev for an example here. I'm going to open both the vaults, and as you can see here, we've got 53 champions. Now, you don't need 53 champions to complete Knights Rev Faction Wars, or Live Arena, or any of the other areas in the game. So I would argue that this account now just needs to prioritize. I would pick maybe 5 legendaries and 3 epics. And the reason I say epics is because there is that stage in Faction Wars where you have to use 3 epics on your team in order to get 3 stars. That's what I would do. I would pick this and go, right, who really are the headline champions? You've got a mythical, so she just goes in, that's a no-brainer. You've got Arix, just absolutely mental DPS, absolutely mental. You've even got Gaius, an incredible bomber. I wouldn't worry about, he's a bit crap. You've got Mother Cybele. Make a team, and just really hone in on that team. Pick 5 champions. and just build them really, really well. Pick 3 or 4 epics. I actually did some work on this before, and I put both Synacia and Skullcrown into really good stun set gear. And then as for everything else, what would I do? I would open the vault, and anything I'm not using, I would put in the vault. It's, you know, when I open my roster screen and I'm greeted with this, I just think, how can anyone, it's a bit like having mess all over your desk. It's very hard to work efficiently when everything is a mess. So I would go faction by faction and just pick out what I like. I'd do the same with Demon Spawn. Open this up and go, right, who have we got? Cool, we've got bunches of legendaries. We've got tons of epics. Just pick your 5 favorite legendaries. Like here, you got Candrafon at 6-star. Brilliant, take him. Duchess at 6-star. Awesome. You've even got with it, amazing healer. You've got all sorts. You've got Prava. She's fantastic. Pick 5, gear those 5, and everything else, just use one of these free gear tokens and just throw everything else into your vault. That's my biggest bit of advice for this account. And what you'll get then is a really solid roster of maybe, what are there, like 15 factions, so like 75, 80 champions, maybe 100 really well built champions, rather than 200 averagely built champions. You'll just go so much further when it comes to doing the content that you actually want to do. Master something, don't try and do everything. That's like the biggest takeaway that I've taken from this account. And in doing so, here's a big mindset switch that I would, you know, opt to push on this guy. When we go to your resources, they are growing, and that's really, really cool. You know, when we were here last time, these were like not far from 0. We've got loads of books. Haven't really got many chickens. That could be worked on quite a bit. And I did also notice when it came to upgrading and ascending, you're really low on stuff here. Now, I noticed when going through the gear that a lot of the gear has been ascended that shouldn't have been ascended. So, you know, priority has got to be thinning out the account. Second priority, I would say, kind of like get into the flow of gear cleansing. It's not hard, it's just really, really long. Learn, you know, stat synergy, work out that, you know, when you get crit rate and crit damage and you think that's really cool, but if the other 2 stats are resistance and flat HP, sometimes you've just got to bin it. Don't invest into it. So on an account like this, you can be incredibly harsh. You've got such an amazing account, but little mistakes will cost you months of progress. And another one I saw was in the Guardian Ring. You've got 2 Hefraks. Now you only need 1 Hefrak. He's not really that sort of dupe champion that you need. And I think on this account you've got 3 because there was 1 in Faction Guardians as well. I wouldn't be investing in leveling one up. You know, just keep your main one. The only investment for the other one should be essentially empowering the one that you've got once your Faction Guardians is complete. There's so many champions on this account that have been booked that, you know, I just wouldn't book. Like Lorne the Cutter, I wouldn't book him. Oscarol, I wouldn't book him. Like almost every champion you've got is fully booked, and a lot of them have got masteries. Maybe the best thing I can recommend for you, whose account this is rather than being sort of addicted to completionism in the game, try and get addicted to saving. Now, that's what I did. I set myself a challenge. This was about a year ago. And I said, can I get to 100 sacred shards? And I got to 88 and I got drunk and pulled them all. But that's kind of by the by. But in doing the sort of saving mindset, the real kind of min-max of this game becomes how you handle your resources. And what it means is when something does come along that you actually want to do, you can just throw everything at it without even blinking, sit back and go, cool, I won that event, or I got the guaranteed legendary from a champion training, or, you know, always be ready on your account. With a level like this, you know, you should have on your way to 1 billion silver, not 31 million. And the only reason it's 31 million is because you're constantly trying to essentially upgrade everything, do everything, which is totally cool. I totally get that. I'm a bit of a completionist too, but maybe just sort of revisit the way you work through your champions. Like when you get one, don't book him and do his masteries. Level him up and test it. Do you like it or not? Gear him and then go, right, this champ would be better with books. At that point, invest. Don't just invest in everything, because out of the 803 champions, I would be willing to bet money that 650 of them are just crap. Like so many champions are bad. Like on this screen here, Just like rows and rows and rows of just, I mean, they're not all bad. There's some absolute gems in there, but most champions in this game are bad and you will never, ever, ever use them. So get yourself into that mindset of just saving and you'll have a much happier time playing this game, because I know this account has also had a lot of money spent in it. So that's kind of all. It's such a stacked account. I kind of wish it was mine. He's got so many champions I want. Yeah, just take this account forth and just do some more content. I'm always here, so I can always rejig some champ builds for you. Focus one thing at a time. Go faction by faction and just pick like 10 per faction, and everyone else just chuck them in the vault, because you'll never need them. It will still get you through city stages. I've hardly got any champions built on my account. For the amount that I've got on my account, hardly any of them are built. I just recycle the same champions in all sorts of content, and if I ever come across a stage in Cursed City that I can't do, I don't break my account trying to do it. I just go, okay, I won't do it. There's no reward for completing the final stage of Cursed City hard. Like, okay, yeah, you could get a bit more merciless gear, but you'll get merciless gear from the bosses you can do. So just take it slow, put the account on a bit of a diet, and just keep kind of doing it. It's so stacked, it's so cool, and I'm really enjoying playing around with it. So yeah, that's all. Just account on diet, switch that mindset into going, right, I now want to just have everything but not champions. I need to just save. Always remember that champions mean nothing if they haven't got good gear on them. And that's kind of all. Really cool account. It's nice to see that it's come along. It's nice to see that the resources have started getting saved. Just kind of crush out the little mistakes and you'll be end game in absolutely no time. So yeah, that's it for this one. Not a long video, just some advice for this account moving forward, a bit of coaching, shall we say. If you are interested in having a takeover done, my Discord's going to be in the description of my channel. Just hop in there, message me, we'll have a chat, we'll see what we can do. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you on the next one.